An agent migrated 80% of your database. The last 20% is the cutover, and it's where companies die. Welcome to AI Tech Book. Today, the last 20% of an AI-assisted migration, the live data cutover, the part with no test to tell the agent it's wrong. The agent flies through the first 80% and then hits the part with no test to catch it. That first 80% is mechanical, and crucially, it's test-gated. Translate the schema, generate the migrations, port the straightforward queries, and a test suite tells the agent at every step whether it's right. The agent is genuinely great at that. The last 20% is different. Move the live data with zero downtime. Prove it landed correctly, and flip production. There's no cheap test that says the cutover is correct, and every operation is irreversible. The agent's confidence doesn't drop in that 20%, but its safety net is gone. So what makes the cutover so unforgiving? 3 reasons, and the meter is running the whole time. 1, procedural code, stored procedures, weird transactions that compiles but behaves differently on the new engine. 2, transaction boundary bugs that only show up under real concurrent load. 3, the flip is irreversible. You can't undo a data cutover the way you revert code, and it's expensive by the minute. Reported downtime costs for large enterprises run well over $9,000 a minute, and studies cite that roughly a quarter of migrations lose some data. No Oracle, irreversible, and costly by the minute. That's the 20%. You don't speed run it, you run it on a gate. So here's the cutover, step by step. It's 2 phases. First, a full load, copy the existing data to the new target. Then, change data capture, a stream that replays every new change from the old database to the new one, keeping them in sync while the app still runs. But here's the catch. That stream is not real time, and it has no guarantee on how far behind it is. So you watch the lag. You're ready only when the replication lag is 0, and the count of changes still waiting to apply is also 0. Until both read 0, the new database is behind the old one, and you do not flip. But 0 lag only means caught up. It doesn't prove the data is correct. Caught up is not the same as correct. Correct is a reconciliation gate. Per table, you check 2 things. Row counts match source and target. And because counts can match while the values are wrong, you also compare checksums, a hash of the data itself. Same count says same number of rows. Same checksum says same actual data. Tools like DMS run a validation-only task that compares source and target row by row, right after the load. And the rule is simple. You flip only when there are no validation errors. You trust the gate, not the agent's word that it copied everything. And here's the error that slips right past a row count. The dangerous error in an AI migration isn't a crash. It's an answer that looks right. Picture this. The agent's transform compiles, the row count matches, the migration looks done, but it joined on the wrong foreign key. And now your revenue numbers are 15% off. Nothing errored. That's the silent wrong failure, and it's the one that hurts because it passes the count and ships to production. The guard is to validate every generated statement against the real schema before it runs. Wrong column, wrong key, wrong table, caught before it ever corrupts your data. A matching count is necessary. It is not sufficient. Now let's put the whole flip in order. Here's the entire cutover as one ordered sequence, and a human throws the last switch. Disable the triggers during the load so they don't fire on migrated rows. Run the full load. Then change data capture until the lag is 0. Reconcile, counts and checksums, no validation errors. Pause and build the indexes and constraints you held back for speed. And then, only then, a human flips production to the new target. And it is not over at the flip. The first window after, call it the next 48 hours, is the stabilization watch, because a query that ran fine on the old system can behave differently on the new one. So, which of these does the agent own? Draw the line clean. The agent owns the part with a test. A human owns the part without one. The agent owns the mechanical, test-gated work, translating schema, generating migrations, porting queries, and even writing the reconciliation checks themselves. A human owns the cutover, reading that reconciliation, judging whether the lag is truly 0 and the data truly matches, and throwing the irreversible flip. It's the same rule from across this series: least privilege and escalate the irreversible. applied to the single riskiest moment in a migration. The boundary is the test oracle. The agent works where there is one. A human decides where there isn't. So where do teams still lose the data? 4 traps. Each one loses the data in the last 20%. 1. Let the agent throw the flip because the tests were green, but the test never covered the live cutover. 2. Trust a matching row count alone. The count matches while a wrong join corrupts the values. 3. Skip the shadow validation. No checksums, no validation task. So you find the corruption in production. 4. Cutover with no tested rollback. And when the new system misbehaves in hour 2, you have nowhere to fall back to. Every trap trusts it looks done over a gate that proves it. A human flips, checksums not just counts, run the validation, and test the rollback. So the answer, how do you finish the migration an agent got 80% through? The agent does the 80%. You own the cutover. Let the agent do the mechanical, test-gated work. Then own the cutover, full load and change data capture until the lag is 0, reconcile counts and checksums, validate the generated SQL against the real schema, and let a human throw the flip behind a tested rollback. Then watch the first 48 hours. The agent does the 80%, you own the cutover. The whole cutover, one screen. The agent does the test gated 80%, the cutover has no oracle. Full load plus change data capture until the lag is 0. Reconcile, counts and checksums per table. Watch for the silent join that passes the count but corrupts the values, and a human throws the flip, then watches 48 hours. The agent does the 80%, you own the cutover. That's the last 20%. If this might save someone's cutover, share it with one person mid-migration. Subscribe to AI Tech Book. Next in this series, verification is the bottleneck. How to review an agent's work at scale without drowning.